What's going on, y'all? So listen. What's going on, you guys? We are back. Let me tell you something. I think Queens is about to be one of my new favorite shows, okay? Because, girl, like, I like it. I really, really like it. I really did not expect to like it as much as I do. You know, some people say it's a little corny, whatever. It's cute. It ain't nothing to take serious or whatever. It give me giggles and all of that. And I'm really loving the storyline because if you listen and you look at what's going on, especially in this episode, it is basically telling you all the pitfall. It is putting all the pitfalls of groups that happened like in the 90s, 80s, and 2000s or whatever, especially the women groups who were taken advantage of, who weren't seen because of one particular thing, but then let a lighter skinned bitch get into the group and all of a sudden, oh, they're on the map and, you know, fucking the manager and signing bad contracts and trying to make comebacks. Oh my God, it's nostalgia. And then the soundtrack, baby, Joe Budden ain't heard his song being played on national TV in years, and they play Pump It Up. I was like, oh, okay. You know, and the fashions, we got FUBU being rep, we got Baby Phat being rep. Girl, that was my goddamn childhood, okay? Because I rocked the fuck out some FUBU. Bitch, I ain't had Baby Face. That's why I knew back then that I should have known back then. I wanted the FUBU. You know, the nigga FUBU over the Baby Phat. You know, I was fucking with Phat Farm, okay? Because y'all know Phat Farm came first, okay? Phat Farm came first, and then Kimora came out with Baby Phat. But anyway, let's just get up in the episode. This is Queens, Season 1, Episode 2, okay? Heart of Queens. Let me just tell you this. All I gotta say, you know, before we get started, Valeria, I will beat that bitch ass, okay? I would never trust her again. After seeing exactly what went down and the way that it went down, I said, bitch, I knew it was something about you that I just didn't like, okay? I just didn't trust. You know, your skills really wasn't up to par or whatever. And it's always that one person in the group that's just a little bit lesser than everybody else in the skills department. And that bitch is it, okay? But anyway, we get into the episode and we see them standing outside after the whole success of, you know, being on the BET Hip Hop Awards or whatever. First of all, that little stadium that they had them in a big ass arena for the BET Awards. No shade, no shade, no shade. But y'all know it don't be that damn big up in there. I said scale that shit down probably a couple of thousand. That's the capacity. But anyway, moving on from that, that was my little quirk, okay? And let me put this out here on the offset. Don't come on my video doing that Monica versus Brandy shit, okay? Because somebody dead ass got into their feelings because of whatever, and then gonna say, oh, it's because you a Monica stan or whatever. Girl, I ain't nobody stan right now, okay? Bitch, I said so much good shit about Brandy, and actually Brandy's character is my favorite on the goddamn show. And you getting your goddamn feelings over one little simple shit that was a joke or whatever. Bitch, truth be quite honest, I don't even know what I said, okay? I'm sitting here like, don't nitpick shit and don't bring that stand shit over here, okay? Enjoy the fucking show and let us have fun. That's all. But anyway, as we get up into there, you know, sometimes you just gotta let the girls know. We get into it or whatever, and you know, they standing outside looking at the little poster, whatever, the billboard showing them little Muffin and them. They finna go on a world tour. I said, oh, we going on world tour status now, huh? Meanwhile, here comes Eric, you know, B-Rock. He come over there and he was like, what's good? Now the whole time they talking, I'm sitting here and I'm looking and I'm like, am I listening and hearing the things that I'm hearing? Why I sound like somebody heavy breathing? I said, bitch, is it me? Girl, can you breathe? I know your sinus has been messed up. No, girl, it was somebody that was watching them. Because before they were standing there by themselves, you heard it. And then you see it's like you looking from their viewpoint, the person who's watching them viewpoint. And then you see B-Rock come up there. And then you hear it again and you see it goes back to that person's viewpoint. Next thing you know, somebody come out there with a gun. They was like, no, don't do that. Pop. And I was like, oh my God, what happened? What happened? They about to go on world tour. We don't need this. This ain't no step back. Don't do this, okay? Next thing you know, it goes back, all right? I said, oh, so what's going to happen? They go back to after the BET Awards, all right? So, it goes back to 2001, actually, okay? And we see how the group kind of broke up a little bit. We're getting bits and pieces. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna take with them going back and forth, but I get it. It's cute for right now, but I don't know how much longer I'm gonna take it, but I'm gonna take it. Okay. But on 2001 in San Diego, I believe, they was up on stage at the Forum or whatever it's called, you know, whatever the arena was, okay? They doing a little thing or whatever. You know, you got Professor Sex, a.k.a. Brianna, up there doing her verse. Then you got Jill the Thrill come through, do her verse. You got Explicit Lyric, do her verse or whatever. And then here come Butter Pecan, okay? Butter Pecan, you know, she do her thing. And then everybody was all jumping and doing all this, you know, giving energy on the stage. And I'm talking about the group, okay? But when Butter Pecan do her thing, all of a sudden, you know, Naomi, aka Explicit Lyric, she just standing there like this. And I said, girl, what's going on? Me and Jill looking at her like, bitch, what's happening? Everybody else looking like, what's going on? Girl, she was like, you know what? Fuck this. I can't do this. Okay, I can't do this. And everybody in the audience like, girl, what happened? She was like, no, I can't do this. Like, nasty bitches is done. We dead. I said, excuse me, right in the middle of a song in the performance? Listen, girl, we don't do stuff like that. We don't bring our personal on the goddamn stage. I ain't even an entertainer, and I know that, okay? We don't blow up and implode like that in front of everybody's eyes. We do that behind stage, okay? And I said, girl, what happened? Meanwhile, after that, it fast forwards to 2021. We see Brianna sitting out there on the bed looking at the clip of what happened, you know, on the news about, you know, they're talking about their comeback and all that. And then Jeff, her husband, come in there, and they're about to go to the hospital get his brain played in, okay? Or to look at the tumor and all that stuff. And my whole thing about this situation, she's still kicking it with him. He giving her a paper just in case he, you know, he don't live and all this stuff. And I'm sorry about this. And I'm sorry. I said, no, listen, Brianna, I don't know, like, it's crazy. This is called acting, because I know the real Eve would not take this, okay? The real Eve would not take this, bitch. The majority of us in general would not take this. Mind you, she got Valeria downstairs babysitting the kids, and then she on the phone with B-Rock, and they the ones that was putting together this tour situation. And I guess it's like a comeback situation. And with Valeria, you can't never tell what it is, but you know that it's not all the way on the up and up, okay? She keeps on saying we need to get this together or whatever because this is the least that we can do. Because they're the cause of the breakup of the group, okay? And it's not just because they was fucking each other, all right? But it was some other shady stuff that was going on. But at the same time, Valeria is trying to get this whole tour and everything going because she need a goddamn job. She is a disgraced talk show host after what she did, you know? And so after that, you know, Jeff and Brianna go to the hospital or whatever. Meanwhile, we get to Jill and her girl Tina. They up in the bed. You know, she was like, oh my God, it feels so good waking up to you. It feels so good waking up to you too, boo. You know, they about to get it in, you know, have a little morning session or whatever. Next thing you know, we hear some little clink, clink. And then all of a sudden, Jill was like, wait a minute, you hear that? You hear that? What's that? Girl, she get the rifle. I said, clock, clock, what the hell? I said they are in Montana. They are in Montana living in a wood cabin. So, you know, she got a little skills. She come downstairs. Why is her husband Darren down there cooking breakfast? And gonna ask Tina, you like eggs? How do you like your eggs? Scrambled? I said, excuse me, what is going on? Now, if you look at Love After Lockup this season, y'all know Deontay, the black guy with the eyes, okay, and Nicole, the way he fawning over her and doing all these hoops and just can't let her go. That's how he acting. That is exactly how the husband was acting. I said he was giving me psychotic eyes. He was giving me, I'm not going to let you go, okay? Even if you say we done, we ain't done, okay? He was up there talking about some, listen, I'm a God-fearing man, you a God-fearing woman, and I understand that, you know, we could be together. It could be like, you know, polygamy. There's nothing, you know, not that much about polygamy in the Bible or whatever, but I can have two wives. I said, excuse you. Who said that Tina wanted a penis? Jill barely wanted penis. Okay, so what are you talking about? Jill had to break that stuff down. He was like, because I can't sit here and believe that you don't love me. And she was like, listen, I love you, but I ain't in love with you. I don't want you like that or whatever. It is what it is, Darren. We have to go, okay? It is what it is. Let me go. I said, Darren, just let her go. I'll never stop loving you. That's fine. Never stop loving me, but love me somewhere else, okay? And let me love my lady. That's what you need to do. He just couldn't get the point. I hope he's not an issue later on, but I kind of feel like he just might. Meanwhile, when he leave out, we see the newspaper got Jill is on the front. Her whole thing about her coming out is on the front page of the newspaper. Mind you, we are in Montana, okay? So she's a little worried about that. Then we get Lil Muffin, okay? Lil Muffin is up in rehab. And before we found out that she was truly in rehab, I'm thinking it do show that she in the rehab building and all that stuff in the name of it. And then you see her sitting on the couch. I'm thinking she in her own room or whatever. No, we in a group session where we supposed to go around the room and talk about our feelings and stuff like that. She's putting her makeup on and she got music playing. I said, bitch, you is rude as shit, okay? Turn that stuff off. The therapist had to take the thing, and oh my God, I got this from Japan and all this stuff. Girl, don't nobody care, okay? Lil Skylar had to come out and say, and playing that music was rude as shit, okay? That's what it was, but she was being stubborn, okay? Just didn't want to participate because she thinks she the best. She thinks she all that. And Mr. Therapist man had to tell her, you better hope that this ain't all you got and it just don't fleet away from your ass. You need to calm that down, okay? Look within. Meanwhile, we get Brandy, she meeting up with her sister, or I shouldn't say Brandy. Naomi is meeting up with her daughter, I should say, okay? And ever since she brought her little present, I think the daughter is also into music or whatever, and as they're talking, they're kind of reconnecting and been on this, journey to get back together on the good terms ever since, she did the BT thing, and so far so good. Next thing you know, Cameron bring his ass up in there. I said, Cameron, you need to stop smoking because your lips turning black, okay? I don't like that look. But at the same time, they real cool or whatever. And she introduced Cameron to her daughter. She's like, you could sit here and, kick it and eat dinner with us or lunch with us or whatever. And so when the server comes over there to take their order, he was like, give me a burger. And then the daughter said, JoJo was like, give me a burger with no sauces, no lettuce, no tomatoes, just put a whole bunch of pickles on there. And they both said pickles at the same time. And I'm sitting here like, that's your baby daddy. That is your baby daddy. Oh, okay. So that's what it is. Basically, he there because, they did perform before. They got a friendship. And he's about to, start a new label. And he wants to sign Naomi. Okay. At first, she thought he wanted the whole group. He was like, no, I want you. I was like, so how this gonna work, okay? Meanwhile, Jill is up in church, and, they was like, it was one part in the church where they said, get up and turn to your neighbors and say this or whatever. So she do it to one, and she turned to the back, and she tried to do it to the white lady. The white lady looked at her like, ugh. I said, oh, so that's what we're doing? And then when they went to go take communion or whatever, the pastor, or whoever the hell he is, the priest, he said, no, bitch, we ain't doing this. We ain't quoting this. I said, excuse me? He was like, no, sin would be. I said, wait a minute, this is a church. We all sinners, okay? I said, what the hell? And then made her feel bad and left out. I said, all of this because she gay. And then you got reporters calling her and everything, trying to get the information from her and the download. Why you wait so late in life to come out and all this stuff? And I was like, rude, rude. Meanwhile, it goes back to 1997. And we see the girls, and it's just 3 of them, okay? We see Naomi, we see Jill, and we see Brianna. They're on the stage, they're performing, and B-Rock is in the audience talking to this white guy who's talking about something. Okay, cool. They ain't signed yet, but who that girl right there? That's Professor Sex. I want to talk to her. I got a cool pad. We could sign a deal with her. I said, no, you just want to F her, and I felt like he was slimy, and I realized that when the security guard came up there and put him out. If you was a real executive, they would have known who you were, and they wouldn't have put him out. Meanwhile, here comes Valeria. She bring her ass up there. She telling him who he is and all this stuff, and then telling him who she is, and I want you to make me famous or whatever. You gonna know my name or whatever. Put me up in the group and all this stuff, and woo woo woo. Just flirting, and like you ain't been signed yet. And the reason why you gonna get signed is because you need to put me in the group. Gave him her demo and put it down in his pants. I said, oh, so this what we on. Mama finessed her way into the group, and I knew right then and there I was right about not liking this bitch, okay? Girl, she just made me mad. She just made me mad. It was a lot of tensions and stuff. Meanwhile, they go up into the studio and they listening to her tracks or whatever, and it's mediocre as shit, especially compared to the lyricism that's going on in the group already. You got explicit lyrics, and then you got Professor Sex just setting it off. Even Lil Jill, you know, she ain't no rapper in real life, but she can flow a little bit. And then you get Valeria Butter Pecan, you know, doing her stuff. And I was just like, They told her ass up, Jill and Professor Sex. They was like, girl, she whack. We ain't gonna lie. Okay, the bitch is whack as fuck. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? And I was sitting here like, it was given very much, if you watch the Salt and Pepper movie, it was given very much Salt and Pepper when they added, was it Salt and Pepper? When they added old girl to the group, added Spinderella to the group, they didn't really want Spinderella up in there, the new one that they had or whatever. And it was given very much those teas. But then, you know, explicit lyrics was looking at old girl like, you know, she ain't shit. But here, she gave her these lyrics to Nasty Girl. And she started rapping and or whatever. And Explicit was like, listen, this gonna be the biggest hit. Okay? And I was like, all right, if that's how you feel. Even though they had to tear her ass up a little bit and tell her about it. She was like, so what if I don't write my music? Okay? Michael Jackson don't write all his songs. I said, but Michael Jackson got talent. All right? Michael Jackson got talent. And if he wanted to write his songs, all of them, he could. He really could have, okay? Could you say the same? No. You're weak. You're whack. You're talentless, okay? You're just floating by because of your looks. And they just had to put that light-skinned bitch up in the goddamn group so that they can get sold. Because as soon as she get in the group, all of a sudden, they get a record deal. I said, oh, so that's how we doing that? Because she's exuding sex. That type of exotic sex, I guess, if that's what you want to call it. Meanwhile, we go back to the future, or I should say the present. And, you know, B-Rock is in this meeting trying to get signed to a stadium or whatever, get this man to let them do this stadium or whatever. Not stadium, but arena. And basically he said, listen, dude wasn't sure if it was going to sell out. And he said, even if it halfway sell out, I'm still going to be out of $1 million. But if this thing don't sell out, you going to owe me $500,000. And I know you ain't really got it like that because I heard that you was renting that mansion up there, up the hills. I said, what's wrong with Brenton? Damn. Okay. So, of course, that's what's going on with them. He a little worried about that. And then we get Lil Muffin. She coming down there to Jill house. I said, oh my God, Lil Muffin. You know, she didn't escape rehab. Jill is worried about all the reporters and everybody keep calling her about coming out. You know, she just wasn't prepared for all of this. And at this moment, you know, we see the whole thing with B Rocker, or I should say, that ain't her name. That's her real name. That's her rap name. You know, Brand New B Rocker, Brandy, the other Cinderella. You know what I'm saying? That's what they call them. You know what I'm saying? And she in a little meeting with Cameron and his people listening to this producer or this label dude, label head or whatever, white guy. And they listening to her demo. And basically they vibing to it a little bit, but they got her in there under the false pretense that she thought she was about to get signed. No, he wanted to sign her to a writing deal to write for this other artist. And basically told her, we make stars over here. We can't do nothing for a 41-year-old who's a has-been washed up out here singing folk tales and shit. I said, you ain't have to tell her that shit like that. Okay, you ain't have to do her like that. Damn, I mean, be honest, but you ain't have to be that honest. Ugh, have a little class, okay? It hurt her feelings. And of course, she was like, I'm done. I'm done. Meanwhile, you know, Brianna, is she up in the hospital with Jeff? He done had the brain surgery, and all of a sudden, he can't remember that he cheated on her, and, you know, he was doing all this stuff and messing around with his student. And she like, is this real? Okay, she talking to Valeria and them about it, and Valeria was like, you know, they did say it was a case or whatever where he be, you know, people can lose their memory and stuff like that. Valeria's like, that nigga lying, okay? He is lying. He is playing. Do y'all think he playing, or do y'all think he serious that he literally did? Because, I mean, he did just have brain surgery. Because at one point, Valeria did say how convenient it is that you get started back up in your career and all of a sudden he got a brain tumor. I said, you know what, Valeria, I did think that for a second. But, you know, they did do the little surgery and, you know, they took the tumor out. He ain't got to do nothing else. So, hey, who knows, okay? But, at this point, all of a sudden, Jill come down there. I said, Jill, you done came down there? Okay. Jill then flew down there from what where they at? Montana, okay? And then she got Lil Muffin with her. And then here comes Brianna. They all up in Brianna's house, okay? And then here comes B Rocker. Oh, I should say B Rock, and here come Explicit Lyric. And basically he's telling them, okay, we got this arena, you know, and we want y'all to sell it out. And at first, Brianna was like, I ain't got time for this, okay? I got a family to deal with or whatever. Me and Jeff, we on good terms. I forgave him. And, you know, Valeria kind of came at her throat, okay? Like, come on. You know, you doing all this and your husband out here cheating on you and doing this or whatever. And she was like, nigga, you wouldn't even understand because if you don't even have a family of your own, okay? Valeria felt hit by that. She was like, now you know that was low and that wasn't right. I said, what was you trying to have a family with B Rock? Is that what you were trying to do? Meanwhile, you got Explicit Naomi. She sitting there like, I don't think I want to do this music thing no more, okay? And I was like, girl, no. Jill, listen, go ahead and do that shit. But they all came to the conclusion that we gonna do it, all right? Mind you, I was Lil Muffin, because Lil Muffin was sitting down there. Lil Miss Muffin sat on her tough and eating a, what is it? Curves and waves, bitch, whatever, oats, okay? She was sitting there just listening, and every time they said something that was like, ooh, shade or whatever, like, oops, she was like, ooh, what? Huh? Okay. That would have been me. That would have been me. But, you know, after all of that, they decided they're going to go ahead and do the show. It's just one show to see if there's interest in them, okay? Meanwhile, you know, Naomi and B Rock, they wind up meeting up, and, you know, at this point, I just want them to stop, okay? He trying to hit on her, and she was like, listen, I said the last time was the last time. Let that be it. It is what it is. Meanwhile, Valeria coming around the corner. Hey, what's good? What's going on? Okay? And, you know, Naomi just leaves, okay? And he winds up telling Valeria, okay, if this stadium or this arena don't sell out, I'm going to owe them $500,000, and I don't have that. She was like, well, I do. I said, oh. Okay, so then it flashbacks, okay, to when they get signed, and I think this was like 1998. They get signed, and B Rock is giving them all of these bags, okay, like these little Louis Vuitton bags, and you know, me and Naomi was like, I don't even fuck with this shit, okay, take this away from me. And they opened that thing up. It was $200,000 up in there, and I was like, oh my God, for each of them? I said, was it all together or was it for each? I said, first of all, that is ghetto. That is ghetto, putting money in the bag like that, and we in this fancy restaurant. It just seems a little ghetto to me, but hey, that's how we did it back in the day. You know what I'm saying? We still flash to this day, but we keeping part to the course, okay? And so, you know, all of a sudden, Valeria was like, thank you, baby. And I was like, ooh. And me and the Explicit was looking like, oh, mind you, when Valeria first came over there and was talking to B Rock, and he looked at Explicit Lyrics while she was on the stage in 1997, and she was like, that's your girl. He was like, no, that ain't. Meanwhile, I was just like, oh, so they just on the low. They just on the low, because you can see the tension that they got feelings for each other. Meanwhile, we see them doing this fake MTV crib, because the crib wasn't theirs. Hi, welcome to we're nasty bitches, and this is our crib. No, it ain't. It ain't had no energy. It reminded me of 3LW, okay? They just came out and said that they used a fake crib for their MTV cribs. We already know that. We know that. Meanwhile, they had to do it over again, okay? And people was just over each other, all right? You know, Eve ready to go, or I should say Brianna ready to go. Naomi sitting over there with her. Valeria, you know, she in her own world. And at this moment, Naomi notices that Valeria gets into a good ass car with what's his name? B Rock, okay, Eric. And Jill was like, damn, I'm still riding a Corolla. I'm still driving a Corolla. So they not making money. This is something that's been going on in all these groups, especially back then in the 90s and the 80s or whatever. They were getting ripped the fuck off real bad. We know the stories, okay? Meanwhile, while Jill was up in her baby fat, you know, tracksuit, velour tracksuit, bitch, I'm waiting for them to bring out the juicy tracksuit. Y'all had that on lock, okay? Everybody had a goddamn juicy tracksuit, okay? But this girl that was working on the production for the company for the MTV Crib, she come up there and say, hey, how you doing? I'm such a big fan, and you know, I just wanted to say you did real good, and I really do like you, and you know, how long you in town for? She was like, I'm in town till tonight or till tomorrow or whatever, then I gotta go to Phoenix and all this stuff. Well, if you don't mind, I could show you around town if you like to. Here's my number. And then Jill looking at her like, excuse you, who the fuck? And then Miss Girl was like, oh, my bad, I didn't know. Like, I just thought. She was like, what you thought? What you thought, bitch? You thought I don't fuck with women, okay? I don't do that. And if you came from my hood, bitches like you would have got fucked up. I said, excuse me, Jill. You going a little bit too hard. You a little bit too defensive because you still up in that closet and your door kind of cracked open, okay? She was like, what you trying to imply? That you like puss and it's okay. It's okay, okay? Meanwhile, her woman was trying to call her in 2021, okay, and see what the hell was going on. She finally answered the phone, and here comes little Miss Muffin tumbling on down like she was a goddamn spider, bitch, outside the window. She done fell out the window. I said, get this little girl out of here. Get this little girl out of here. She is funny. She gives me a mixture of Nicki Minaj when she first came out and Saweetie, okay? Put them two together, that's what she gives me. You know, it's cute. I like it. I like her. But, you know, she was trying to go out to a club. Mind you, you just went into rehab because of your alcohol or your drug use or whatever. And, you know, sometimes alcohol, when you drink alcohol, it leads to drugs or whatever when you already got a drug problem, okay? So you just need to chill out. Jill was like, let me talk to her. And she came to her real, like, you need to slow down. You need to go back into these people don't want you like that. Okay. Come on, like, take your ass back to rehab, okay? Why are you hiding from rehab and all this stuff? You know, you're afraid to see what you need to see. And then Miss Lil Muffin, she came back at her like, listen, bitch, you the one up here still living in the closet and making such a big deal, can't deal with the fact that you finally came out. Like, come on, it's 2021. What are you doing? You making a big spectacle about coming out. Who cares? Everybody a little gay these days. And I said, that's right. That's right. You know, they kind of read each other, okay? And then they walked away and turned back around, and they both reasoned with each other and admitted they're both scared. And, you know, she said, Jill was like, promise me that you'll go back to rehab, okay? And I promise that I live myself for me, okay? Live for me and live my truth, you know? And I like the fact that we seeing a person that been through the same thing that somebody else, a younger person, is going through, and they seeing the road that she's going down, and they're trying to be a mentor. Like, she's been forced to be a mentor because she actually do care. She sees herself in Lil Miss Muffin, and she don't want that to happen. Meanwhile, you know, she decides that, yes, we're going to go back to rehab. And I was like, that's good. That's good. Okay. So everything is getting on track with that. And, you know, Jill had a heart-to-heart with B-Rock about, you know, seeing her husband and, you know, juggling all the stuff that she's been through, okay? But then we get to, I guess, 2001 again, or something like that. We go back in the past. Naomi sitting on the couch, and it looked like it's penthouse apartment. And then we see Butter Pecan, her commercial for her fragrance, okay? And, you know, B-Rock came out, and she was like, you still fucking her? And she was like, wait a minute, what? Basically, she all up in her feelings. And he was like, I thought we did that, okay? And his whole thing is, I've been wanting to get with you ever since the moment we saw each other, but you ain't want to make that public. You wanted to keep it on the low, but I'm ready. I'm ready to be with you now, okay? You ready to be with me now? You want to be public and be with me? She was quiet, and she asked him again, are you messing with her still? He said, yes. I said, now, why would you tell her all that and then admit that you still messing with the girl? So you're going to be doing both of them? I said, this man is causing drama in the group. What is this? Now, they ain't decided to fire him. And so because of that, that made her turn away from him and go to Cameron's room. I said, oh, shit. Meanwhile, you know, in the present, she's talking to her daughter on the phone. And her daughter was basically calling her out like, you really gonna let them just make you quit like this? That means everything that you've been through and all the time that we didn't spend together was all for nothing. No, go do what you gotta do. Handle your business, mama. Okay? Handle your motherfucking business, bitch. You know, and I was like, yeah, girl, go handle your business. And I was like, exactly what she gonna do? Okay, what you gonna do? Meanwhile, Miss JoJo, she's showing that, hey, talent runs all throughout this family. I can play the piano, you know, do. And I was like, what that tune is that she playing? I couldn't quite catch it until Naomi said, fuck this. I'm finna go down here to this man's house. I said, oh, so that's what we about to do? She rang the doorbell to the producer guy that we saw in the meeting, the white guy, to his mansion. He opened up the gate. She left that gate open. I said, that's kind of rude, but all right. You know, he did kind of dish you, so touche. You know, next thing you know, she starts singing on the front lawn in this white neighborhood on this white man's porch. I said, these white people call the cops, okay? That's the only thing that I was concerned for. I don't care. I just said they call the cops because they're going to be like, there's a black woman on the front lawn, you know, in the neighborhood causing a disturbance, and she does not live here. Please bring the cops. You know how people be Karens, okay? And truth be told, it was 2 white ladies that was standing out there just looking. And I said, you're not finna sing right here, girl. You not finna sing. She said, yes, I am. And then she was singing a fucking pop song. I said, so she had to down herself a little bit. She watered down herself. She still had a little flavor in it, but she watered it down from singing a little folk song to singing a pop song. And it was Miley Cyrus' Wrecking Ball. And after she got through wrecking shit, she walked the fuck away like a boss she is. I said, I know that's right, Naomi. It wouldn't have been what I would have did. I would have came up into his house and disturbed his whole family, okay? Wake your ass up and listen to me sing. I wouldn't have did it on the front lawn like that, okay? I got a little respect, okay? Just a little bit. But, you know, she had a point to prove, and she proved that shit. Meanwhile, she go into the meeting the next day, and they giving her a contract for her to sign. And basically, if she signs this contract, she can't work with nobody else. I said, damn, it is always something with Naomi. Every time it look like she getting a leg up, it's something that's going to knock her down because now she got decisions to make, okay? Is she going to sign or not, okay? And then at this point, they doing rehearsals or whatever, and she just lacking all the energy. And they just like, mind you, the first performance is back in San Diego where everything went left and where the whole group broke up. And so, you know, it goes back to 2001 when they broke up, and basically Naomi was like, where the money at? We selling out all this stuff. Where the fucking money at? Okay? What's going on? You know? And long story short, Valeria had to come through and say, well, since he ain't going to be man enough to say it, I'm going to say it. We fucked y'all over, okay? I saw the contracts, and we knew that y'all weren't going to read the contracts, and I knew that it was a bad contract, so I negotiated something better for me, and we all knew that, and y'all just got the less of what it is. And I said, you know what? And we fucking. That's what it is, boo. And I was like, you know what? Now, see, we would have beat her ass, okay? I would have beat her ass. You know, Explicit, she was better than me. She was like, you know what, you can have that bitch. I said, that's right, but pop her ass. And Valeria was like, okay, that's cool, be mad, but we can't not go out there and still perform. I said, fuck them people. I'm mad. I said, so that is what it was. You snake ass bitch came up in there and messed up the goddamn group and was all about yourself because you couldn't do it solo, so you had to do it off the back of these black women. I'm sorry. It's just making me mad because we see this all the time. Okay, it's giving me... I'm not going to tell you what it's giving me. Y'all put it down in the comments. Meanwhile, we back in the present, and they waiting for this day to do this goddamn concert, and they waiting on Naomi to get her ass there, and they was like, should we cancel it? Nah, they can't cancel it because they need to do it, but they not sure, so they just said, fuck this shit, we finna get on up on this stage because Professor Sex said, listen, I look too damn good tonight, okay? And somebody finna see this shit. And I said, I feel you on that. The show must go on. And at the end of the show, after they introduce everybody, girl, Jill had went back and told the preacher off. And I said, that's what you do, boo. That's what you do. She brought her her woman too. Let me stop. She brought her woman, okay? But after that, you know, they said explicit, and she was actually there. I said, okay, Naomi, you ain't break up the group. You ain't let them down or whatever. We ain't finna have history repeat ourselves. I enjoyed the episode. You guys tell me how you felt about it, and I'll see y'all later. Peace. Also, one more thing. At the very end of the episode, Cameron came to Brandy door and was like, is JoJo my daughter? And I was like, yes, okay. And that was how it ended, okay? But I just wanted to mention that. Y'all have a good night. Peace.